Who would win in a fight between the One Punch Man Saitama and the 7th Hokage Naruto? It's important to note that we're taking the prime versions for these characters. So I guess just normal Saitama versus Baryon Mode Naruto. There's a lot of factors to consider in this battle, and I'm going to do my best to go over every single one to give you the best possible answer on who wins. I'm going to do my best to go over every single argument that I can for both of these characters to give you the most possible information so that you can form your own opinion on who actually wins. We're going to start with Saitama. So in terms for Saitama's strength, we know that Tatsumaki on her own is capable of emitting planet-level feats. And Tatsumaki and Saitama have fought in the webcomic before where One Punch Man absolutely obliterates her. So it's absolutely safe to assume that Saitama is at bare minimum planet level. I know that a lot of people are going to bring up the Boros multi-continental feat. However, I'll explain why that one is it's just a bad scan and why you shouldn't use it. I'll explain that later on as we talk about how Saitama realistically scales in AP. In terms of a low ball for Naruto's AP, you can easily get him to planet level as well via the Tonere feat. This has also been calculated around planet level. In terms of a low ball for both of their speeds, we are 100% aware that Flashy Flash is confirmed to be faster than Light. And Saitama is much faster and stronger than Flashy Flash, so it's safe to assume that he's also around FTL. And a similar situation follows for the 7th Hokage, as him dodging Madara's Light Fang has been calculated around Relativistic Plus. So in terms of a low ball, we've got them both at around planet level, Saitama at FTL speed, and Naruto at around Relativistic Plus. So it seems like via this metric, Saitama would win, correct? Not necessarily. Naruto's wide variety of hacks would absolutely give him the edge, as he can summon shadow clones, he can create the Kurama avatar, etc., etc. Not to mention all the feats that I just named were performed by younger and much weaker Narutos. We are using Baryon mode, which is capable of beating up a character that can blitz the previous versions that I just talked about. So on a low ball, I would actually give Naruto the victory. Now let's talk about where they realistically scale. We're going to cover Saitama's AP and speed first, and then we're going to go with Naruto's. In terms of raw physical strength, the Monster King Orochi has a feat that's calculated around planetary. Saitama, while taking a lava bath, squirted the beam that Orochi fired, and it completely eviscerated it and him. This feat has been calculated around large planet level plus, and based off of the fact of how much Saitama was holding back, since, he was squirting lava the same way we do with water, it's actually safe to assume that he's more closer to Dwarf Star level at outputting his max. However, in terms of speed, Saitama is so fast, it's absurd. If you're keeping up with the One Punch Man manga, then you'll be aware that in Monster Gato's fight with Platinum Sperm, yes, his name is Platinum Sperm, don't talk to me about it. The two clash and they create this structure. We're actually given a time frame on how fast they did this and how fast they needed to move. This feat has been calced out at around 260 times faster than the speed of light. Gato later on in the fight is capable of blitzing Platinum Sperm. And when this same 260 times plus Monster Gato tries to attack Saitama with the exact same speed, Saitama bobs and weaves effortlessly. Gato then transforms not once but twice, where he himself makes the claim that he has gotten significantly more powerful. And once again, Saitama can just casually avoid all of his attacks. It's even stated earlier in the fight that Saitama's not going for the killing blow and he's not even trying in this battle. With all of this, I 100% think it's safe to assume that Saitama is at bare minimum 1,000 times faster than light. As even if you want to lowball each of these transformations by Monster Gato and say that they're getting 2 times stronger, then he would still be around 800 times faster than light. Saitama easily avoiding this would put him at around that 1,000 range. I am aware that those are unquantifiable measures. However, I think this is a logical and realistic assumption, as I am even heavily lowballing this. In terms of hacks, we also know that Saitama has durability negation resistance, as in his same fight with Monster Gato, he actually is able to tank durability negation. So in terms for a healthy midball and where Saitama realistically scales, you've got around Dwarf Star level AP and over 1,000 times FTL plus speeds. That's going to be pretty tough to beat. Let's go over Naruto. So in terms of greater feats, we do know that Naruto and the rest of them can destroy Kaguya's dimensions. These dimensions housing several planets and several different planets, which would put Naruto at multi-planetary at a bare minimum. However, he also becomes vastly more powerful throughout the course of the series in Boruto. As Stage of 6 past, Naruto fights relative with fused Momoshiki being stated to be more powerful than Kaguya herself. Kage is a character that took not one, not two, but three characters all on the same level as Naruto to beat in the first fight. So Naruto taking on a more powerful character alone and fighting relativistic means that he got vastly stronger. However, Ishiki is also capable of blitzing and one-shotting the same Naruto. Yet with the use of Baryon mode, Naruto is easily able to foderize Ishiki. Until the timer goes out, but we don't talk about that. With all of this, I think it's fairly safe to say that Naruto is at a bare minimum large planet level plus. I don't think it's much higher than that. However, in terms of healthy midball, this is around as good as you're going to get. In terms of speed, I do definitely think that it's safe to assume that Naruto is faster than Light Plus. As once again we talked about Naruto dodging the Light Fang, he gets vastly stronger even throughout that same fight. And like I said before, Ishiki is capable of blitzing this same stronger version of Naruto, and Ishiki is completely trivial to Baryon mode. So I think with all this, once again, it's absolutely safe to assume that Naruto is at bare minimum FTL plus. So in terms of a healthy midball, we have Saitama at around Dwarf Star level with over 1,000 times faster and light speeds. And for Naruto, we've got him around large planet level with around FTL plus speeds. So Saitama absolutely scales vastly higher and stronger than Naruto does. However, can Naruto's hacks put him over the edge? With his Shadow Clone Jutsu, he would absolutely be able to cast several Shadow Clones, each one holding as much power as the original, or at least a relative level to the original, as well as being able to summon nature energy to become even more powerful. He also has a level of precognition with Sage Mode. However, despite all these hacks, I don't think that it's enough to put him over the edge. Saitama is quite literally 100 times faster than Naruto, and Naruto's best AP feat, Saitama performs casually by squirting lava. So I think it's fairly safe to assume that Saitama would blitz Naruto and his 1,000 plus Shadow Clones and one-shot all of them. Now let's get on to a highball for both of their strengths. I'm going to tell you this right now. Do not believe what I am about to say. It is all very wanky and it's very debunkable. But let's start with the highballs. So, we are aware that Boros is confirmed to be star level in data books. Boros fires this star level attack at Saitama, and Saitama completely eviscerates and one-shots it casually. This would put Saitama around large star level plus. Maybe even higher considering the fact that Monster Gato was actually stated to be as powerful as Boros. And yet currently in the manga, Saitama is completely fodderizing Gato. But large star level works. In terms of speed, the 1,000 times really stands. It's not really going to matter too much. So in terms of a highball, we have Saitama around large star level plus, with once again 1,000 times faster and light speeds. In terms of AP for Naruto Uzumaki, you can really try and wank Naruto to star level. However, there's a lot of room for contention. So we are actually aware that Kaguya's dimension actually houses a star, meaning that these characters threatening to destroy this star would put them at around star level as well. Now, even with all the various increases in strength that characters get throughout the series, it wouldn't be enough to put them at around large star level, as they would have to quite literally get over 100 times stronger, maybe even more to reach large star level. In terms of speed, we could just say that dodging the Light Fang is faster than light, or we could use Naruto dodging Delta's photon beams, which we could also say is FTL. And then by the use of Baryon mode and Ishiki blitzing Naruto, we could put him at around MFTL. And we are once again met with the same result as the midball. Saitama's going to scale so much higher in AP and speed, it's absolutely absurd. Even with all of Naruto's various haxes, I don't see him putting this one away. And all in all, I really have to give it to Saitama. All of his relative feats with Naruto, Saitama performs hyper casually while Naruto is struggling. One Punch Man also just has more grounded scaling, and just better wanks and better highballs that you can get for Naruto. Yeah, I have to give this to Saitama. But before I wrap this video up, I want to go over a few wank skills that I've seen for both characters. One, people are going to use God is the map of the universe to try and say that Saitama is universal, because it's obviously implied that Saitama is stronger than God. However, we can't say for certain, and we don't even know if this statement is hyperbole or not. And once again, we can't say for certain because Saitama and God have never fought. They will eventually, and then we'll get more grounded scaling for that. However, it's entirely based off of assumptions that have no backing to them. Also, I am not using narrative in this argument, because if we were to say that Saitama is a gag character and he could just one-punch everyone, then we should also say that Naruto could just talk no jutsu Saitama. or that Naruto has a necessary existence so he can't die, etc., etc. It just gets really wanky really fast. Now let's cover Naruto because he has a lot more highballs, and frankly, they're worse. A lot of people are going to use a data book statement to say that Haku is light speed, which is abysmal and ridiculous. Not only does Haku have a light speed statement, but so does the Raikage, and so does Jubidara. So with this methodology, you would also have to say that Kid Naruto is at least relative to Jubidara, or that Naruto doesn't get stronger throughout the course of the series, which is false. This Haku statement is so very clearly littered with hyperbole, it's absurd. Not to mention it says it is possible to move at light speed. That doesn't make it a certainty. So Haku is not faster in light, and you can't use these ridiculous multipliers. People are also going to try and wank Naruto to solar system level by saying that Kaguya's dimensions have multiple planets, and there's a star, so that fits the qualifications for solar system level. One problem with this, we know that stars in Naruto can be smaller than moons. So in order to actually say that this is designatively star level, you would need to quantify and put forth quantifiable evidence to prove how large that star is so that we could actually scale it. Without it, you go off a baseless assumption and a baseless assertion that can be disproved via Hitchin's razor. The most you could say is that this is planet level for Naruto. And once again, even if people are going to use the Rasen Shuriken as durability negation, which I'm not even for, Saitama has durability negation resistance. Saitama will definitely scale higher in AP. He will scale so much faster in speed that Naruto won't even know what's happening. Naruto can bring out as many clones as he wants. In fact, we can give him infinite Baryon mode. It won't matter. He will be blitzed and one-shotted immediately. So to answer your question about who wins between the One Punch Man Saitama or the 7th Hokage Naruto, the caped baldy Saitama one punches that furry. Thank you all for watching this video. It means a lot that you're still here. And that's all I got. See ya.